y'all, I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate, and we're bringing you another episode of I'm Moving to North Carolina, Now What? There was a big change that happened in mid-August of 2024, and that was in regards to something called buyer agency. So remember, buyer agency is simply something that's talking about a real estate agent's ability to put your priorities, especially financial, ahead of their own. So the buyer agency agreement is a contract for you to work with that particular real estate agent. So without getting into the nitty-gritty of what those look like, let's talk about some things that you need to ask your agent before you sign one of these buyer agency agreements. So something I do want to kind of say as a disclaimer is be really careful about signing anything that is a limited viewing. So we've heard things about folks signing just for a particular property or for a particular time period. You want to make sure you're vetting whoever you're going to work with, because this is the person who's going to be helping you procure one of the biggest assets you will ever own. So you want to make sure that you get along with them on a personal level as well as respect their business methods. So let me give you those questions to ask them when you're in, hopefully, the interview phase of determining who you want to work with. The first one is communication. How can you reach them? Is it going to be through texts, phone calls, emails? How often are you going to speak with them? And how good are they at carrying that dialogue with you? Do you feel like you trust them? And then what does the communication look like once you go under contract? Is it going to continue to be with that particular agent, or do they have other team members that are going to step in and be involved in the process? The second one is the art of negotiation. So how do they negotiate? How do they deal with multiple offers? What kind of strategies have they employed in the past that have been really successful for their clients? And this can actually go on the listing side as well as a really good tip to kind of keep in mind. Another thing is, are they actually aware of the recent changes that we've had in our MLS or to contract documents? In the last 5 years, there's actually been some pretty significant changes, like the removal of a finance contingency, where you're on the hook to purchase regardless of losing financing, or like what does and doesn't convey. So Ring doorbells is a big one. Garage gyms definitely became popular in the last few years, and those have become fixtures. Another one is, how does the contract look and how is it constructed? We actually went from a 14-day loophole period where if you needed to extend the contract for, let's say, financial reasons, you could. It dwindled down to just 1 week now. So is your agent keeping up with all of that gen up kind of information, and can they relay that to you in layman's terms so that you feel like you have an understanding of what major things have probably changed since the last time you purchased a home? The fourth one is marketing. So how are they going to market your property? Is there a particular method that they use, a service they provide? Are they going to do open houses for you if it's on the listing side? But specifically when it comes to the buyer agents portion of this, are they looking at multiple areas to procure homes? What kind of methods do they use when they're speaking to other agents and they're marketing you as the potential contract that the seller wants to accept? Another one is stats that they're proud of. So every agent has something they're probably willing to share with you as far as accomplishments that they've made. But how does that tie into your mission and vision when you're buying a house? For example, I used to be a teacher in another life and have over 14 years of career experience to where I understand our very finicky school system here in Wake County a lot better than the average person. So that would be like a superpower that I could bring to the table. So just make sure that you're asking your agent about any particular personality traits, business criteria, or awards that they've received that speaks to how they run their business. And then the last one, this is just an extra pro tip. Be really careful when you ask questions like, how long have you been in real estate? I've actually known some agents who have been in the industry for over 30 years and they do about 2 deals a year. They may not have the same level of experience in what our current market looks like in comparison to an agent who maybe has been doing it for 5 years, but they do 50 transactions a year. They're going to have a little bit more expertise perhaps in that short time period where our market does change rapidly. Granted, your older experienced agents are also going to be able to kind of give you some ins and outs of what to expect with the ebbs and flows of real estate. Keep in mind that about 49% of all agents only do one deal a year. So make sure you ask those types of questions and you're getting that data in perspective. If you have any questions, or if there is a specific question that you think would be really valuable to ask an agent if you're vetting them to potentially help you buy or sell, feel free to drop those into the comments and we would love to address those for you. I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate, and we'll see you on our next episode.